Alrighty. I think we're good now. I think we're set. What is good? What is up? It's Jordan, or Texans Thoughts, and I am back with another live stream. I hope y'all are doing good. I apologize for those technical difficulties in the beginning, but it looks like we're all good. We're set to go for another weekly Thursday stream. I hope y'all are doing good. What's up to everyone in the chat? Agassi, Beige, Hayden, Evil Soap, Balin, how y'all doing? I want to do a quick thank you to everyone who supported me, came through for the draft. Kind of draft-a-thon that I did this past week. Was live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it was amazing. It was a great time. I really appreciate all the support that you guys showed me on that, and I appreciate 5,000 subs. If I haven't thanked you, here's my thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's insane to hit that milestone, and I'm excited for more. Not going to stop for y'all. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. We got quite a few things on my menu. We're going to go over, all the AFC South draft grades. I'm going to give my thoughts on the Texans, after a week of pondering, sitting on my emotions, letting them stew, trying to analyze these picks, trying to watch these players a little bit more and see what the vision is. Shout out to everyone coming through. What's up, Beast Mode? What's up, The Best? What's up, Micmac? Joey? Jacob Houston Sports God, Nosh. How y'all doing, my guys? How y'all doing? What is good? I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. School's done. Finals done. Shouts to everyone who has officially finished their finals. And if you haven't, good luck to you. I'm finishing them. I know it's going to be a great feeling when you're done. Excited for the summer, man. But let's get into it. Let's not waste no more time. Thank you, Agassi, for that best Texans content on YouTube. I appreciate you, man. Luca, Mike Lee, how y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? All right, let's get into it. No more chit chat. No more. Let's just get right into it. And the first thing I want to show y'all. Oh, this ain't work neither. All right, give me a second now. There we go. We got it up for y'all. Alrighty. So what are we looking at here? We're gonna do a quick recap of the AFC South picks, give my thoughts on them, see, are there any guys we got to look out for, or can we just clown these teams for doing dumb things? All right, so let's start with the Colts, and, their first round pick, Kwity Paye, man, that's probably the steal of the first round. Great player, a little bit raw right now, but he has an insane ceiling, and so that's someone that we got to look out for, probably the biggest player that we got to look out for, but hey, we got Laramie Tunsil for a reason. We got Titus Howard for a reason. So they can do a pretty damn good job against Kwity Paye, in my opinion. But I like the pick for them there. Dio, I call him Deo, like Mayo now. He's coming off an Achilles. There's some risk there. There's some risk, some reward there. Didn't love the pick for them there. Cal Granson, Colts guys seems to love him, but I don't really know too much about him. Sean Davis, not too high on that pick. Ellinger, that was an interesting one for me, just to see, a developmental quarterback go in the 6th round. Interesting. I don't think that, he's going to ever be someone, but he can be a potential insurance policy for Carson Wentz, and I think that's when you want to take your insurance policies in the 6th round. 7th round, guys, not too crazy. I don't think there's any really big steals. Fries could be an option. It'll be interesting to see if they play him at left tackle because they do have a need there with Anthony Costanzo gone. So hopefully that's a guy that we can beat up on. Hopefully that's a guy that Shaq Lawson can get his first sack in a Texans uniform on. And Jordan Jenkins, Jean Grenard, Jacob the Goat, Martin. Hopefully they can all beat his ass up. But overall, the Colts, just got to worry about Kwity Paye, in my opinion. The rest of it, pretty mediocre at best. I'd probably give them, B plus just because of Kwity. But yeah, let's see what y'all thinking about the Colts. What's up, Alpha? Tyler says 2 weeks till he graduates. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Congrats. You did it. Well, you're about to do it. You got this, Tyler. Finish strong. I am a bit blocked up, Beige. I don't know. I woke up got a little sniffles. Probably not the worst, not the best thing for y'all to hear, but I apologize. We got to fight through it. Andres says he finished finals right before the stream. Let's go. That's hype, my guy. Congrats. I hope you killed it. Bro, fuck the Colts. Nosh says, yes, sir. You know it. Fuck the Colts. Rest in peace, Ellinger's brother. Apparently, his brother, I believe he was a linebacker for the University of Texas. He was found deceased. So rest in peace to the Ellinger family for sure. Good call there, Joey. Kyle Granson is a sleeper tight end, trust me. Was decent in SMU. Had to watch him every time he played my college. That's what I've heard, Micmac, is Kyle Granson. He's someone to look out for sure. Colts guys like him. What's good, Matt Marr? How you doing? Evil Soap says a B. Beast Mode says a B. Quiddy is nice. Everything else to me is just meh. That's exactly how I was thinking, Tristan. 1 month till Joey graduates. Best of luck, my guy. Damn, y'all are graduating. That's amazing. I'm so excited to graduate next year. It's going to be... Ooh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. All right, next up on the board, let's talk about the Jags. The Jags had an interesting draft to me. You know, they had a lot of ammunition. 2 first-round picks. 2 second-round picks. 2 fourth-round picks. But then you look at their class in total, and it's like, I just feel like you're missing something. You know, obviously, Trevor Lawrence, nothing to complain about there. You knew that was going to be the pick at the start of this season. Travis Etienne, though, I've talked about it before in my live reaction, but I thought that was a reach, man. First round running backs is not always a good look, especially when Urban Meyer comes out and says that, hey, we want this to be a rotation. We want this to be a committee with Etienne, with James Robinson, with Carlos Hyde. So it's kind of just splitting the opportunities Etienne has to really thrive, to really show his value as a first-round pick. Now, I understand the chemistry stuff with Trevor Lawrence, but it's not the same. Like, quarterback, running back chemistry isn't the same as quarterback center chemistry, quarterback wide receiver chemistry, stuff like that. It's a running back, man. Yeah, maybe on the RPOs, on the handoffs, they ain't gonna fumble no handoffs, great, but I mean, you shouldn't be doing that anyways, right? So I didn't love the Travis Etienne pick, but that's good. I mean, I don't want to love the Jaguar picks. Tyson Campbell was the next one, top of the second, and I thought this was one of the more, high risk, high reward picks. Top of the second, that's a first round pick basically. So you're trying to get, a perennial starter, potential Pro Bowl guy, right? And Tyson Campbell, I'm sure the ceiling is there in the right system. It could be a cornerback one, but there's a lot of risk involved there. And I think that, there's some better cornerbacks on the board at that point. I don't think you needed to reach and go take Campbell when you did, but hey, maybe they're NFL GMs for a reason. Maybe they're smarter than me. They probably are. This was probably the pick I liked the most because what I've talked about with Trevor Lawrence is that, he's not the perfect quarterback. No quarterback really is. And he needs to be protected. That's the one thing. So Walker Little, offensive tackle out of Stanford, that's an interesting pick. I think it's good value in the second for them, mid-late second. And then I also think, it's a position of need. They need offensive line, and it'll be interesting. They're probably not going to play him at right tackle. They got Jawan Taylor there, so left tackle, potentially play him there, kick Cam Robinson inside to guard. That could be the move. So I like that pick for them. This one was a big head scratcher for me, though. Andre Sisco in the third round, top of the third. Again, with their secondary help, they needed secondary help big time, but they went 2 boomer bust guys. Andre Sisco got all the flashy interceptions in the world, but he was one of these guys that benefited a lot from right place, right time. A lot of lucky overthrows that just went right to him. A lot of dropped passes that just ended up right into his hands. And so it'll be interesting to see if that can carry over to the NFL. I don't think his luck is just going to randomly carry over. But he's got potential there, man. He's a good athlete. He's got a nose for the ball. So it'll be interesting to see. I just think that's a reach for me in the third. But Jay Tufele in the fourth, good pick there by the Jags. I think, not this year for Tufele. He's a bit raw. But the year after, he'll be someone to watch out for. He will be in that defensive line. This pick, Jordan Smith, don't know who this dude is. I know there was a Jordan Smith out of University of South Florida, but this dude's out of Alabama, Birmingham. Anybody heard of him? I don't know. Fourth round seems like a reach to me. Luke Farrell, fine tight end, but fifth round also seems like a reach to me. Jalen Camp, sixth round, that's fine. It is what it is. Overall, Jaguars draft class, I thought it could be better. I thought you have 2 first round picks, 2 seconds, 2 fourths. I just would have liked to see more guys who, you have a lot of confidence in, that are safe picks and that are going to, improve your franchise. Like Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco, Jay Tufele are all very risky picks in my opinion. I think Walker Little has some serious injury issues as well, so that's interesting to take note of. And then Travis Etienne, not the best value. So overall, Jags, I mean, it's hard to complain when you end up getting your potential franchise quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, but the rest of the picks, man, I give them maybe a B-, C+, honestly. I didn't like the rest of the picks too much apart from Tufele and Little. That's my thoughts on the Jags. What y'all thinking about the Jags draft class, huh? I'll get to the Texans in a second. Absolutely. Let's see what y'all thinking. Jags going Jag, beige. L about the ETN pick. He would have been taken at 30. L take lol. Oh, you think he would have taken at 30? Who was taken at 30? Who was drafting at 30? I'm trying to remember. I'm going to look at my little page here. Who was going at 30? You think the Bills would have taken him? Nah, I don't know about that one. But it's interesting to think about. It's definitely, they were a little bit more, panicked because Najee Harris went. And I don't know that they were guaranteed to know that was going to happen, right? So I understand a little bit where you come from. Lively's report is given his grades for the Texans. We'll get there. We'll get there in a second. I see Nico is the next Andre. Oof. Definitely got similar playstyles, man. But let's see. Let's wait and see. Let's let Nico be his own Nico. Has Jordan gone over the Texans pick? Yes, not yet. That will be the last team I do. I'm going to do the Titans and then the Texans. No one is smarter than you, Jordan. Thank you, Spencer. I actually never believe that. But hey, it's good to have confidence. I'm glad you got confidence in me. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate that. Nosh is saying something I strongly believe in. Pep for head coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beige, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, chat. Thank you, my guy. B minus, B, yeah. Okay, y'all are with me. All right, let's get to the Titans now. Ooh, not the Texans. That's going to come in a second. Let's quickly go over the Titans. All right. First round pick, Caleb Farley. They go the route of high risk, high reward yet again. 2 years ago, they took Jeffrey Simmons. He was a top 12, top 15 talent, but injuries and I believe some off-field stuff as well pushed him down the board to the mid-late 20s. And they took advantage, and look at him now. It worked out for them. So because that happened with them, they're probably a little bit more confident. Okay, let's go take this risk again. We hit it big one time. Let's go do it again, right? So I understand where they're coming from here. Caleb Farley, for me, was cornerback 4? Or cornerback 3, I don't remember even now. But for a lot of people, a lot of experts, a lot of people who are smarter than me, think that he could be cornerback 1 when he was healthy. So high risk, high reward. Let's see how it plays out. But my favorite pick, probably out of all the non-Texans draft classes here, and it pains me to say it, but the Tits, man, they got a good tackle here in Dylan Verdunes. Late second round, this is great value for him. He's kind of a freak athlete, great outside zone blocking guy, and that's what they love to do. That's what their offensive line is already great at. It'll be interesting to see where they play him because they got a need at right tackle, but he's been a left tackle in college. So are they going to flip him over, trying to mess with him like that? Let's see, but I like that for them. Great value, great player, great fit. Yeah. This one was interesting to me. Monty Rice in the 3rd. To me, it's a bit of a reach. I think I had a late 4th, early 5th on Monty, and I like him. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the more higher floor, lower ceiling linebackers. Very good run defender, inconsistent in coverage, and so I thought that at first, that's a little bit of a reach in the 3rd for me. But with the Titans, he's going to be a really good fit next to Jayon Brown, who's the exact opposite of him. He's the coverage guy, the athletic guy, not as good as in pass coverage. So those two can play off each other pretty well, in my opinion. And then you got Rashaan Evans, man. So linebacker core is looking pretty nice for them. Cannot lie. Elijah Molden, good value, good pick here. He's going to kind of try and replace Desmond King, and he's very similar to Desmond King. Very similar. Maybe both of them aren't the elite of the elite athletes, but they win on the field with, their IQ, their football IQ, their instincts, their ability to read the quarterback. In zone coverage particularly. He'll play the run a little bit for you. He'll play the pass a little bit for you. So I see where they're going with Elijah Molden. End of the 3rd round, compensatory pick. That's fine value. This one is interesting through the Panthers. So this was part of the Nico Collins trade, actually. And they took a different wide receiver. They took Des Fitzpatrick out of Louisville. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't get a great look at Des Fitzpatrick. But that seemed to be the consensus of where he was wanting to be picked. Or not wanting to be, where he was projected to be picked. 4th, 5th round. So can't say it was too much of a reach. I'd rather have Nico though. But that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Rashad Weaver. Initially, I thought this was a great pick. But then some off-field stuff that he's accused of doing has popped up, and apparently the Titans didn't catch it. So is this another Isaiah Wilson situation? Who knows? If his head's screwed on straight, I mean, it's a great pick in my opinion, but if he never plays down, man, like Isaiah Wilson. Availability, man. And then these last 2 picks, I'm going to just bunch them together, these last 2 6-round picks, because they're special team aces for their respective schools. So, I mean, Mike Vrabel comes from that New England tree where they prioritize special teamers. So that's the picks right there for you. Overall, honestly, the Titans probably had the best draft out of the 3 non-Texans teams in the AFC South. Caleb Farley, I mean, if that hits, man, it's an A+. Dylan Verdun's, I think, is an A+. Monty Rice, I'd probably give B+, A-. Elijah Molden, that's an A-. Fitzpatrick, meh, B, B-, C. Weaver, that's the thing. If Farley and Weaver hit, oh man, this is like a borderline A+ class for them. If it doesn't, then it's like a B, you know? So it's interesting. There's a lot of volatility there with the Titans draft class. But let's see what y'all thinking. F- just because they're the Titans. I hear you, my guy. I hear you. All right. He punched some girl in a bar, didn't he? Yeah, I think it was some aggravated assault or something like that, unoriginal channel name. I don't remember the exact details about it, but it wasn't good. And it just gives me Isaiah Wilson vibes, man. Beige says B. I hear you. I think if those picks hit, man, if Farley and Weaver hit, it could be A+. But as of right now, since there is a lot of risk attached, I'll go B+. I'll go B+, A-, around that range. But let's get to what y'all are probably here. B+ can't give them A. I hate them. Fuck the Tits. Fuck the Colts. Fuck the Jags. Absolutely. Let's not get it twisted here. But let's get into what y'all mainly came here for. And that's the Houston Texans picks, man. 5 picks. Smallest draft class out of the AFC South. But size don't matter, man. It's about how y'all use it, alright? Alright, so 5 picks. First one, Nico Collins at 67 overall. Alright, selective memory. Nico Collins was the pick at 67 overall. It was not Davis Mills, so that makes you feel better about Davis Mills if you're me. But yeah, Nico Collins. Love the pick, man. Love the pick. He was one of my targets at 67. I really wanted him, the best wide receiver I think we could have taken at 67, unless Terrace Marshall did end up falling there. But he didn't, and so that's fine. So I love Nico Collins, man. Love the player. Love the fit on our team. We needed that big body guy. Y'all are saying he reminds you of Andre Johnson. I see it a little bit with the jump balls. You know, he's a fast dude. He can win downfield. Maybe he's not a burner like Will Fuller, but he's got good build-up speed where he can win deep. He can at least pose a threat in that regard. Physical dude, man. I love the dog mentality that he plays with. He makes the ball his, man, on jump balls. Like, he asserts his dominance, and I love that. So I really like Nico Collins and his potential. I think every year in college you've seen him get better, and even in the Senior Bowl you've seen him get better. So he's not hit a ceiling yet, man. That's a scary thing about Collins. He's got all the physical attributes, he's got the work ethic, and he can be a potential wide receiver 1. I think his ceiling is like a Kenny Golladay type. I think his maybe average outcome is like a Mike Williams, and then his floor is maybe, oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to give you all a Texans comparison. His floor is maybe like when Demaryius Thomas was on our team for that 1 year. You know, kind of a red zone specialist, big body target, but he ain't gonna do too much like anywhere else. That's probably his floor, I would say. But love the pick, Nico Collins, A+ at 67 overall. I didn't mean to play that. Did not mean to play that. Let's see. A-, unfortunately. I hear you, Joey. Sorry, I'm late. What's the damn deal, my dude? Be Poppy. Why you late? I think Garrett is actually underrated. Garrett Wallow. Okay, we'll talk about that. In a second. I think if he puts on some muscle, he could be like Andre. Okay. Jalen Strong. That's what I was that name popped in my head, Berkeley. I ain't gonna lie. But I think he's got better hands than Strong. He's stronger than Strong in my opinion. And I think he's a better route runner than Strong. I think the floor is like a old Demaryius Thomas, you know? All right, let's see. Let's talk about the next pick. Let's talk about Davis Mills. And, let's talk about the good. I understand why they took him. All right. I'm never here to say that he's a bust. I'm never here to say that, he's never going to throw a touchdown in the NFL or anything like that. Like, that's obviously not the case. You watch the kid, like, he's got some traits, he's got some potential where you could see him having some success in the NFL. Now, what is his ceiling? Maybe it's not a Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields type, right? You're not going to likely get that out of him. But I think, best case scenario is a scenario we've seen the Patriots and Nick Casserole have success with in the past with these mid-round quarterbacks. These types of quarterbacks, they've done this before, go after these guys that, maybe they don't have the highest ceiling. They go after more guys who are, pocket passers. They win with their mind. They're maybe not the most athletic guy, maybe don't have the strongest arm, but you have more confidence in your ability to develop them, at least get something out of them than just completely whiff. So your Jimmy Garoppolo's, your Jacoby Brissett's, you've seen Nick Casserole and the Patriots do this time and time again. So Davis Mills is the next one up. That's what I'm hoping for. Pep can develop him, show a little something. Maybe he's not going to take us to a Super Bowl, but we can flip him for a second-round pick, even potentially a first-round pick. That's what I'm hoping for out of Davis Mills. I think those are kind of realistic expectations. Don't call the kid the next Tom Brady. Don't call the kid the next Andrew Luck. That's putting unreal expectations on a third-round pick. All right? So we got to pump the brakes on that, and that's completely fine. Maybe his ceiling isn't that high, and that's essentially why I don't still love this pick, because if you're going to take a quarterback, a developmental quarterback, I'd prefer you go take a guy with a higher ceiling who is more athletic, who has a better arm. Felipe Franks, Jamie Newman later in the draft. I mean, those guys went undrafted, and then you don't have to go spend a third-round pick on him. Then you can go get Joseph Osai, who was on the board. You can go get Davion Nixon, who was on the board. You can go get Ifeatu Melifonwu, who was on the board. All three better players, all three at positions of need. And I understand quarterback, the ultimate position of need, but Davis Mills is not the guy to stop you from drafting a quarterback in the top 3, top 5 next year. All right, he's not stopping me from drafting Spencer Rattler, as much of a diva as he is. He's not stopping me from drafting Sam Howell, Kevon Slovis, I don't know his name, Desmond Ridder. Those types of guys, all right? But hopefully we can flip Mills. I am rooting for the kid. I don't want to see him fail. I want him to be the best version that he could potentially be. Personally, from what I've seen, I just don't think that that's high of a ceiling. Maybe the best outcome you're getting here is a Kirk Cousins type. And if a third-round pick turns into Kirk Cousins, that's absolutely a great pick. But I'm tired of, mediocrity. Kirk Cousins ain't winning you a Super Bowl. Not even if you have the perfect team around him, all right? So I'm just tired of that, and so that's why I wasn't too high on that pick. Get me the quarterback who's going to take me to the damn Super Bowl. All right? No one is smarter than you, Sensei. Mills is a fall guy. David Wynn says floor Zach Mettenberger. Ceiling Jake Plummer. Interesting. Zach Mettenberger. That's an interesting comp. I see it a little bit, Not a statue in the pocket, but also not great at maneuvering it consistently. Davis Mills is going to be a pick six machine, but has the potential to lead prayer circles. Oh, man. Nah, give me Thibodeau over any quarterback next year. Hey, that would be best player available, but also a lot changes in 1 year. Gregory Rousseau was the Kayvon Thibodeau of this past draft class. So you never know, man. There was no Zach Wilson at this point of the year before the 2021 draft class. So things are going to change a whole lot in the next year. I guess I'm going to die on the Mills train. Hey, that's up to you, man. I'm not here to force you into thinking one way. That's never really why I'm here. I'm just kind of here to tell you all about my thoughts, hear y'all out, and just go from there, man, and just root for the Texans, man. At the end of the day, we're all on the same team. We all want the same thing. I want Davis Mills to be successful. I want to get the best out of him. I'm not rooting for the kid to fail. All right? Let's talk about the rest of the picks. And this one, so let me grade Mills. Collins, A+. Mills, C+. I mean, I hope it turns out and we can flip him. I watched the UCLA game on him. I've watched Colorado. I've watched, what was the other 2021? I forget the other 2021. And then I watched 3 2019 games. I'll have the UCLA game for y'all, the part 2 of the film breakdown on him. I'll have that out for you next Tuesday. And then unfortunately that will be the last. I know I said originally 3 parts. I had Oregon, I had Colorado, I had UCLA, the all 22. But he actually didn't play in the Oregon game. So I only got 2 games for y'all now. So Colorado, it's up on the channel, posted it 2 days ago. Check that one out. See the good, the bad, and the ugly of Mills. And then we'll do the UCLA game next week. And again, we'll go through the good, the bad, the ugly. Because there's a whole bunch of everything. Whole lot of everything with Mills, man. Whole lot of everything. But let's get into this next pick. Brevin Jordan. In the 5th round, y'all. In the 5th round, y'all. I mean, best player available. That is the mantra for the draft, man. That should always be the mindset. And yeah, you went offense your first 2 picks. Yeah, ideally you go defense a little bit sooner. But with a talent like Brevin Jordan available, you just got to pull the trigger. And initially on the stream, you can go back, watch my initial reaction. I was like, Brevin Jordan, another tight end? Really? But, you know, tight end is such an underrated position. I was willing to take a tight end in the 3rd round. I was willing to go take a guy like Tommy Tremble. And I love Tommy Tremble because he has the potential to be a great dual threat tight end. He was a great blocker, and he had the athleticism to be good in the receiving game. Now Brevin Jordan, same thing. He's a dual threat guy. It's a little flipped his skill sets. He is ready in the receiving game, but he's not that great of a blocker. However, he has the willingness there. He has the potential to be good there. As long as you're a willing blocker, that's all I really honestly care for out of the tight end position, because you can coach them up. You can coach them up. And so I like the Brevin Jordan pick. It's hard to find dual threat tight ends, and this could be the guy of the future. 20 years old. He is young. All right. I think this pick is a pick for the future, because you look at the tight end depth chart, and he's not going to unseat Pharaoh Brown, because I know they're going to want to emphasize his blocking. They are going to lean on his blocking in this power run scheme. So you got 2 blockers in Brown and Izzo, and then you've got the main receiving guy already in Jordan Akins. I mean, he already knows Tim Kelly's system. He's in a contract year. He's going to be motivated as hell to ball out. I just personally don't see Brevin Jordan unseating them. It's just not realistic. Tight ends are a position that are very, very hard. They're the hardest offensive position to translate to the NFL. Usually, they take a year, at the very least. All right? So, be patient with Brevin Jordan. I love the pick. I'm just going to say, just be patient. Give him a year. I think it's more of a pick for 2022 than it is for 2021. Same thing with Davis Mills. And that's okay. The kid is 20 years old. Give him some time to mature, to grow into his grown man body. He can put on some more good weight, I think, in the NFL. Allow him to mature a little bit more. There were some reports saying that, the reason why he fell to the 5th round is because he had some interesting interviews. So let the kid mature a little bit. Don't throw everything on his plate. Don't throw him to the wolves. And then feast in 2022. All right? That's the year for us anyways. Mills is Jake Locker or Josh Rosen 2.0. Gonzo says it. Gonzo dropped the Gonzo hammer. Oof. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say I think he's the next Andrew Luck or the next Tom Brady. Would I love it? Absolutely. But would I put money on it? Hell no. That's lost money right there. That's just burning that shit over the stove at that point. But I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. It's definitely probably the most controversial pick the Texans have made in years, man. It's got the people divided. Whew. Jacob says, I died on the Osweiler train. Oh, man, that is a bad train to die on. That is a bad hill to die on. Goddamn, Jacob. I feel bad. Our offense going to be all tight ends and running backs. Kind of love that. I don't mind our wide receiver core, man. Cooks, Collins, Cobb, QT, Coulter, Conley. Got all them C's. What more do you need? Our offense can be all to... Okay, I read that. Kind of love that everyone mostly hates/dislikes the Mills pick. Means he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, law. Hey, I hope so, man. I hope so. Prove us wrong. I'm ready for it. Our defense can be all linebackers. Yeah, probably, man. 11 linebackers. That'd be wild, huh? Just met with another one today, and I'll get to that later. But Jazz says, just a wild thought. Since we know Cully isn't the long-term head coach, What if Tim Kelly actually becomes into a better OC? Do y'all see him becoming the next head coach? I think he'll be in the conversation. I think he'll be in the conversation for sure. Tim Kelly is a guy who, he's going to be fighting for his job. All right, you've already brought Pep Hamilton in. He's already had OC experience, and he's already helping make these picks with Davis Mills and Nico Collins. So clearly they believe in him. So it puts pressure on Tim Kelly. Perform. Let's see what you got. He's really got to try and make a name for himself and separate himself from Bill O'Brien and all of Bill O'Brien-ness, right? Try and get past that. And I hope Tim Kelly can, man. I think his name will be in the running. He'll probably be the best internal candidate, the most likely internal candidate between him and Pep Hamilton. I mean, that's usually the trend. Houston fans hate the pick. Player turns out better than they could have predicted. I hope he's the next J.J. Watt. I hope he's the next Titus Howard. It's kind of rare that happens with the third round pick, just to be honest. But Jonathan Jones says, I like Davis Mills. Slim Hardaway says, some fans just want Mills to be good just to tell other fans they were wrong. Yeah, that's part of the argument as well. Mills is a solid pick. I give him a C+. Did he grade Road Lopez? Sorry, I had a phone call. I'm about to get to it. I'm late to the conversation, but I was high on Brevin Jordan way before the draft. Let's go, Matt. Let's go. A lot of people have Brevin Jordan as the second best tight end. Third best tight end at the least. So get that in the 5th round, man. Value. Gotta love the value. I'm not gonna throw out a serious comparison to the preseason. Yeah, let's see him get some NFL reps. Let's see Davis Mills get some NFL reps. All right, let's get to these last 2 picks. This Garrett Wallow pick, y'all. This Garrett Wallow pick. It got a D. You can see it in the thumbnail. It got a D for me. Sorry, Brevin Jordan got an A. Brevin Jordan got an A. Nico Collins A+. Davis Mills C+. C. Garrett Wallow got a D for me. And because of 2 reasons. Well, multiple reasons. But bad process, bad results. All right, process. First of all, why was it bad? Nick Casserole, he traded up 2 times to try and go get his guy. He wanted to go get his guy. He's trying to be aggressive. I'm not going to fault you for trying to be aggressive, but you got to trade up better. Let me show y'all how this happened. So they wanted to trade up for a guy by the name of Nate Hobbs. All right, they wanted to trade up for Nate Hobbs, cornerback out of Illinois, because Lovie Smith knows him. So Hobbs knows the system, can play the Tampa 2. So they were aggressive. They wanted to go get this cornerback. All right, he tested great. Great athlete. 9.62 out of 10 relative athletic score. Great. But the Raiders stole him. Benjamin Albright says, this one was interesting to me on day 3. The Raiders snagged him directly before the Texans, who were going to pick him with their next pick. All right, so why did this happen? How did the Texans let this happen? Why is this a bad process, like I'm saying, by the Texans? So 5th round now. All right. And they traded up. They traded up twice. And it was 164, I believe, is when you saw the little notification pop up. Texans are getting into the 5th round. And it was like, sorry, on the tracker, not on like ESPN or whatever. But it was on the tracker. And so it was right after Derek Forrest went. I remember it was right after Derek Forrest went. It was 164 was on the clock. And where did the Texans trade up for? They don't trade up to 164. They don't trade up to 165. That's usually what you see. You usually see the team will trade up to the pick on the clock or maybe the pick after. But they don't do that. All right. They go to 174 here. Originally, they traded with the Bills, went and get 174 for a 2021 6th and another 2021 6th. All right. It became Marquez Stevenson, became DeMar Hamlin. I love Marquez Stevenson from the H, but it is what it is. Traded up to 174. So you traded up and there were still 10 picks to go before you could go get your guy. And you wanted Nate Hobbs. So Derek Forrest went, that's a safety. Jamar Johnson went, that's another safety. Sean Davis went, that's another safety. So you see 3 DBs go off the board. And the Texans are like, shit, these DBs are flying off the board. We got to make sure we go secure our guy. So they trade up yet again. They go to 170 now. They move up 4 picks. For that 5th, 174, and then the 7th round pick. All right, that ended up being Jake Funk, whatever. So you get to 170. You're still hoping for Nate Hobbs. You're praying. You see another cornerback go off, Keith Taylor. Not looking good, man. And then Nate Hobbs goes. So you don't get the player you want. You end up having to take Garrett Wallow. Now, maybe they were high on him, but it's not who they wanted. It's not who they went up for. And I think you could have went Cameron McGroney instead as a better linebacker. I think he's got more potential, but we'll get to that in a second. But the lesson I hope they learn here is that you cannot trade up. Remember, they traded up when it was 164 on the clock. You cannot trade up to just 10 picks away. 10 picks away and assume that you're going to go get your guy. All right? And then you trade up again and you try and get desperate and try and secure your guy. It just backfired. It really did backfire, and it's unfortunate. I wish we got Nate Hobbs instead. So bad process in terms of how they dealt with this trade. And then bad result for Garrett Wallow to be the pick, man. I think there's a lot of better players on the board. Would have loved Darryl Slayton. I've talked about him a lot. Jason Pinnock, I think, would be a better cornerback. Cameron McGroney, if you want to go linebacker, I understand. You love linebackers, Nick. I understand you got a hard on for them. I understand you need 72 of them on the team. So go get Cameron McGroney out of Michigan instead of Garrett Wallow out of TCU. All right, McGroney's got a much higher ceiling, much more athletic. He's more refined in the run game, more refined in the pass game. I mean, this is a dude who could actually be a potential starter in the league one day. I don't see that with Garrett Wallow. I went and watched some Garrett Wallow, some TCU tape. It's ugly. It's ugly. All right, I get he's the typical, Lovie Smith linebacker, will fit the scheme. Undersized, athletic guy, should be good in coverage. Special team ace, team leader, durable. He had good stats at TCU, racked up the tackles, but tackles, especially for a linebacker, man, they're a bad stat to look at and say, oh, this kid had 100 tackles, must be a beast. All right, look at Tyrell Adams, led the NFL in tackles. Is he the best linebacker in the league? No. He didn't get a contract till the second or third wave of free agency. All right, so teams know. Tackles, especially with linebackers, they lie. All right, but the film don't lie. You watch some Garrett Wallow, and he's making the wrong reads. He's getting blocked by offensive linemen. He's missing tackles. He just doesn't make enough plays for you. And he's supposed to be good in coverage. He's raw there, very raw. He doesn't have the change of direction, athleticism, to be really great there. So, I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, I'm rooting for the kid to be great, to be a potential Dylan Cole, special team ace, give you a little bit of something in passing downs. But I think that's some ways away. He's got a lot of development to be had. So we'll see. I didn't like the process, didn't like the results on that pick, man. Not gonna lie to y'all. That's why I gave it a D. That's why I had a D. Could have had McGroney, could have had Slayton. Exactly, unoriginal channel name. Exactly. Now I hope he proves me wrong. Man. I hope he does. But see, this is my thing, Phoenix. This is my thing. You say, as much as I want to hate the pick, I can't. First of all, I never want to hate a pick. I want to love every pick, but I don't think that's exactly what you meant. But he says Mills has an extremely high ceiling. So that's where I disagree. When you're talking about high ceiling for a quarterback, I need you to have an elite arm. I need it to be like Mahomes, Josh Allen level. All right, I need you to be athletic to make, off-script plays outside of the pocket, like those types of guys. And I need you to elevate your teammates, be able to make plays when the situation isn't perfect and to make your teammates better. So what does that look like? Great ball placement, throwing guys open with leading them for yak, stuff like that. And I just don't see that with Mills. I definitely don't see the elite athleticism. Definitely don't see the elite arm. Definitely don't see the plays where, under pressure, make a play for me, try and make something out of nothing. I just don't see that. And I'm not trying to hate on the dude, but I just don't see it in terms of high ceiling. Doesn't mean he can never be a starter or anything, but I just don't see the high ceiling. Why are we going after the Hewitt guy? We'll get to the Hewitt in a second. Let me talk about the last pick. See, that's where we disagree. Oh, that's fine. People are going to disagree on evaluations. That's the whole thing about evaluating players, I see one thing, other people see another thing, and that's how it is. That's why it's a tough business, man. That's why these picks are such a crapshoot. But let's talk about this last pick, Roy Lopez, and then we'll move on. I like the pick. Roy Lopez. I don't hate it. I mean, it's a position of need at defensive tackle, and historically, if there's one kind of archetype of a player that you can find late in the draft, it's run stuffing defensive tackles because teams don't value them that much, so they let them fall. Hopefully he can be our DJ Reader. DJ Reader, a 5th round pick. Right, Lopez, 6th round pick. Maybe we can make something out of him. I don't know if he's going to be a Pro Bowl guy, but at least a potential starter quality guy. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. He has some baseline traits out of defensive tackles that I like. He has good explosiveness out of his snap, so he's going to attack the offensive lineman before they attack him. And he occasionally, for most of the game, he'll play with good pad level. He's a little shorter at 6'1", so naturally he has good pad level, can win the leverage battle there. Later in the games, he gets gassed a little bit and plays with higher pad level, but you get into NFL shape, that should be better. So I don't mind Roy Lopez pick. I probably give that a B. 6th round pick. Just get out the draft at that point, Nick is thinking. I like it. I think he's someone that they can develop to be at least a rotational defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman who can play the run. And he shows flashes of a little bull rush to collapse the pocket, which I hope you can tap into. I don't know how quickly he's going to develop. I wouldn't bet on him starting any games this year. But again, most of these picks are more for 2022 than 2021. I think all of them except for Nico Collins are more for 2022. So just keep that in mind. Just temper the expectations. You can still like the player, but just don't expect them to be starting no games anytime soon. I think Nico Collins really the only guy for that. But I like the pick. Overall, B- B for the Texans, man. They didn't have a lot to work with. Nick Castro was handicapped, and I can't wait till we get a 1st and a 2nd damn round pick next year. Oh, hopefully multiple. What's y'all's final grade for the Texans draft class? Amrit, how you doing, my guy? It's literally been a month since I last joined in. How you doing? Hope you've been doing all right in this past month, man. Lopez is a small wrestler who knows how to leverage his body rate. I think he could be serviceable. Exactly. He's a wrestler. He's got that dog in him. All right. He's got some of the best hair in the draft class. It's easy to see him on the field. Easy to root for that guy. Wonder if the Titans drafted Mills, would it still be a solid pick amongst fans? I think not. I'm kind of confused by that one. Would it still be a solid pick amongst fans? C-, C+, C+. Yeah, I go B-, C+ overall. Would prefer Marvin, though. Kind of hoping maybe we pick up Marvin during cuts after the preseason. I hope so, too, man. I think there were better run stuffing defensive tackles like Marvin. The thing with Marvin, why he fell, he got a lot of bad knee issues. A lot of bad knee injuries. Roy Lopez don't got that, so I think that's what they're banking on, man. C+, that seems to be the average. I see some Ds. Ooh. C+, but since I'm biased Texan fan, B. Exactly. Exactly. That's my thoughts too. C+, B-, but I'm biased. I want them to succeed. I feel that, man. I feel that. All right. So that's like an average draft, man. C, like if you think about it, C+, that's average, right? I'll take that. That's a pass. C's get degrees. Is it C's get degrees or D's get degrees? Oh, Joey. Thank you for the $20, my guy. I know this offseason has been rough on you, and I'm with you, man. I think people that are hyping up Mills, like, let me play it. All right, people that are hyping up Mills, I understand it. I understand that you want to believe in a quarterback to lead you past the Deshaun Watson era. I understand that you want the pick to succeed so much, but it's just unreal expectations to put on the poor kid. A 3rd-round pick who only played 11 games in college, to think that he could be the next Andrew Luck, to be the next Tom Brady. Let's just chill, man. Let's just chill. But Joey gives his bold prediction. He says Davis Mills will be Brock 2.0. Thank you for the $20, Joey. One thing I will say to that is, hey, at least we ain't paying Davis Mills damn near, what was it, $72 million over 4 years? Something crazy. And Joey says that Mills was not great in college. Those 11 games, they were, that shit was a roller coaster. My goodness. The good, the bad, the ugly, man. You want to see it? I broke it down on the channel. Go check it out. Hayden has a good point. Joey, you never know. You got to give him time. No point in writing guys off right away. But we can have our, initial reactions based off what we've seen in college. Based off what we've seen in college, it's not a lot of, guarantee that he's going to be great. There's some stuff there, some things that you can improve, a lot of things you need to improve, but there's some things to build off there. I hope he's great, man. I hope at least, Joey, let's think about it like this. I hope he can at least be, low-end Jimmy Garoppolo. Low-end Jimmy Garoppolo, you get another third or a second round pick, all right? And that's fine. That's fine. You take the chance that he could be something. It doesn't work out. Let's just go get a third or second round pick back in return. When will the Texans trade Deshaun Watson? I want him gone, Hayden says. June 1st. That's probably the earliest. And the Texans go get Rodgers. They ain't getting Rodgers. Right, yeah, exactly. Slim says it. Why would Rodgers come here? Why would Rodgers come here? Man, that kind of sucks. Let's give these players some time before calling them trash. It ain't all fair. Hey, let's give these players some time before we call them Hall of Famers. Before we call them Andrew Luck and Tom Brady, man. Phoenix says, Texans fans do this every draft. Texans take a player they didn't watch film on pre-draft. Fans shit on it. Players exceed the fans' low expectations. Repeat. I mean, apart from J.J. Watt and Titus Howard, which are both first-round talents, so, there's still, something there, I kind of hear you. My thing is I've watched film on Mills. I know what he was. I have my evaluation on him. Could I still be wrong? Absolutely, but at least I did my homework. I don't think you were talking about me in particular, Phoenix, but I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. All right, so we've graded the AFC South draft class. Now let's talk about need to draft a quarterback top 5 next year. That's what I'm talking about, Joey. Absolutely, Mills does not stop us from doing so. That's the main point to take away from all of this Mills talk. I'm tired of it. Don't people don't just chill on the it's Mills season and we don't gotta draft no quarterback. All right, nah, I'm still drafting the quarterback. All right, let's talk about the rest of the offseason. So we finished the draft. Next up is rookie mini camps. Ours is May 14th to the 17th, so not this week, but the week after. We'll get to see Davis Mills in action. We'll get to see Nico Collins, Brevin Jordan, Garrett Wallow, and Roy Lopez. And what I'm interested to see, we're not going to get a whole lot of the rookie mini camps. We'll get to see who's in shape, who looks good, whatnot. We'll see a few highlights here and there, but what's going to be interesting is OTAs and training camp. And I think one thing I wanted to talk about is just kind of the position battles that are happening. And so let's start with the rookies. With the rookies, I think at quarterback, obviously it's going to be Mills versus Finley. I think Tyrod is pretty much cemented his spot there. Mills versus Finley. Who knows, man? Finley's actually got NFL experience. Mills, when you watch the film on him and you see defenses throw NFL concepts at him, he struggles. So I wouldn't be surprised if Finley is better than Mills in the beginning. Now, long-term, Mills will probably be better than Finley, but hey, at least for this training camp, man, don't be surprised if Mills is quarterback 3 early on. Preseason, though, that's when it'll be interesting. That's when it'll be interesting to see. And then he should be getting all them reps there. All them reps, unless Finley's a god. But I don't think that'll be. Now, for the next pick, Nico Collins, who's he going to compete with? I think his best competition is probably Isaiah Coulter, 6th-round pick from last year. Those guys are similar types of wide receivers. Ex-wide receivers, big body. They got the height. They've got the speed. They got contested catch skills. So I think those two guys, it'll be fun to see them battle it out. I think Nico Collins is going to handily win that. He's a better prospect than Coulter was last year. But I'm excited about Coulter, man. We didn't get to see nothing about him. He was a pick for 2021. He wasn't the pick for 2020. So it'll be interesting to see where he's at in his development. Next one, and this is an interesting one for sure, but Brevin Jordan versus Kahale Waring. Okay, let me get into this first. Are our undrafted players... Will Fuller was shit on too. Oh, I love Will Fuller. I'm also not saying you specifically. I'm just saying a lot of fans. I hear you. I had a feeling you weren't saying just me. Damn, who the shitting on Will Fuller? I love the Will Fuller pick. Jonathan Jones says I'm taking a cornerback in the... Hey, Stingley, man. Stingley. Nah, you gotta go quarterback, man. Unless the quarterback class is that ass, you gotta go quarterback, man. When are you gonna be picking top 5 again? The year after? You're gonna wait till 2023 to go get your guy? Then what if he don't work in 2023? You just wasted another year. Undrafted class, we got 4 guys in total. two wide receivers, Marlon Williams. Everyone loves Marlon Williams out of UCF. I don't know why everyone loves Marlon Williams. I think because he's a guy who he's got fun highlights. Sure, you watch the highlights. Oh, yeah, this dude looks like he can play. You look at the box score. Oh, yeah, this dude's got 1,000-yard season. What lies, y'all? What lies? Highlights lie. Box score stats lie. What don't lie? Y'all know it. Y'all know it. I'm not too hot on Marlon Williams. He's kind of this bigger slot. And when I say bigger, I kind of just mean like, not like, but like, you know? So if he can cut down the weight, get a little bit more athletic, I think there's potentially something there. I like how, physical he is with the ball in his hands. He gets you yak. But in terms of athleticism, in terms of winning downfield, in terms of running routes, in terms of having strong hands, a lot of things that you need to succeed at the wide receiver position, I don't like it. I don't like it. The film, thank you, Ramuchas. Thank you. Thank you. You know what don't lie. All right? So I would just temper your expectations on Marlon Williams. Marvin seems like slower, bigger, Kiki QT. Yeah. That's not a bad comp. And also, there's just so many damn wide receivers on this damn roster that it's going to be very hard for UDFA to make it. I like Hazleton, though, Jonathan Jones says. And I like Hazleton, too. I like him marginally better than Marlon Williams. He's kind of similar to Nico Collins in the fact that they're both, jump ball, contested guys. He was at Virginia Tech. And then he went somewhere else. I forget. But before this past season, I think it was the 2019 season, he had a great year. Showed what he can really do. Has some skills when the ball's in the air. And so I like him. I think he's a bit better chances of making the team. But I don't think either of the wide receivers are going to make the team. Honestly, there's just too many veterans on the roster that are going to be able to beat them in this competition. But who could make the team in terms of the undrafted free agents are the two A&M linemen. I like that we grabbed two of them because, so much of offensive line play is about chemistry. And so these guys, they've each got 30-plus starts over their college career together, and so they know how to work off of each other. One's a center, one's a right tackle. Their names are escaping me right now. I believe the center's called McCollum, and then the tackle, I think his last name is Green, but I think I'm wrong on that as well at the same time. So search that up. Don't take my word for it. But I like them. I think, damn, my little thing over here is all erased, huh? I got to redo that, huh? All right, but I think they got a better chance to make the team. Joey says, as a VTech fan, he's pretty solid. Yeah, he's pretty solid. Nothing crazy, but also not scrub. Highlights are from film, and the film don't lie. Highlights are not from the film. All right, the film is watching every single play. The film is watching the all-22, especially when you're talking about wide receivers. How are you going to grade a wide receiver when you can't see what they're doing because they run off the screen after the first 2 damn seconds? You can't see how they're running the route. You can't see the stem. You can't see if they're actually open or not. So that's why, especially with wide receivers, it's important you watch the film. You get that all-22 angle, and you're able to see the full picture, man. You're able to see the full picture. Thoughts on Tyrod out the pocket? He's better than Mills. He's got some legs out the pocket. He's got some throw on the run ability. He prefers to do it in the pocket, but he can go out the pocket. So when you watch highlights, it's not from film. Here's how you watch highlights. You go to YouTube and you go Marlon Williams highlights. Is that his name? Yeah, UCF wide receiver Marlon Williams highlights. And you go click some of these videos, and they show you 4 minutes of his 2020 season or whatever, and it's the best 4 damn minutes. All right, their damn goal is to make this dude look amazing, to make him look like the next Jerry Rice. That's their goal on these highlight tapes because they're only going to show the good. They're not going to show the bad. They're not going to show his drops. They're not going to show the times that he was covered because who wants to see that, man? It's highlight tapes. They only want to see the good. You want to be excited about this player, so that's why you go watch the highlight tapes. But you want to go watch a full game. You can go with stuff like this. Marlon Williams versus Houston. You'll see the full game. See, it was 9 minutes. 9 minutes of just one game versus 4 minutes of all his games, right? So that's all of it right there. You can watch another one at Georgia Tech. You can watch another one at Memphis. Now, these ones aren't ideal because I'm not going to click on it because I'm going to get copyrighted, but you can't see the all 22 angles, so you can't see when they go downfield. So it's better than the highlights. It's not perfect. And the all 22, unfortunately, college teams, they don't want it to get out, so it's hard to get. You have to know some people. I'm lucky to know a few people that can help me out, but I can't distribute it, unfortunately. Israel, I'm just talking about them. Out of curiosity, which platform do you get your call for? Yeah, I have a friend he's a Raiders guy, and he's able to help me out. Unfortunately, I wish I could share it with everyone. I really wish I could, but he said that the guy that he gets it from would get fired if it gets out to the wrong people. Not wrong people, but just if people, my Raiders friend gets it from Bob. Let's call him Bob. If Bob's boss knows that this film is out there, Bob's getting his ass fired. Bob can't provide for his family no more. So I don't want to screw over Bob, you know. I'm lucky that my Raiders friend is helping me and even willing to screw over Bob in the first place. So and yeah, he had, oh my god. All right, Livelies. You missing my point. That's okay. I'm just gonna stop talking about it. I'm just gonna stop talking about it because it don't matter. So we talked about the UDFA guys. I like the offensive line guys more than the wide receivers. I think they have a better chance of actually making the team and showing what they got. And then the other training camp battles I want to talk about. Talked about Mills versus Finley. Talked about Nico versus Coulter. Then the other one interesting one, I think will be pretty easy, is Brevin Jordan versus Kyle Waring. Kyle Waring. Adios. I don't think there's very good odds he makes the team this year. Brevin Jordan's, there's so much more potential for him. We've still never really seen what Kyle Waring can do, which sucks. In the 2 games that he was there, he had to drop each game, and it was kind of shitty. So it was a little bit of a letdown. I think his time, unfortunately, is gone. What else do I got here? Rookie mini camp, training camp battles. I got Wallow versus the World. Garrett Wallow's got some tough competition because there are 82 damn linebackers. There you go. Ignore it. Lol, it's better than admitting he could be good. I said it. My guy, I was trying to move past because you ain't getting the point that college stats are not a good indicator of predicting NFL success. But I'm saying I'm ignoring you. I ain't ignoring his stats. All right? Because you watch the film and you don't see a guy who's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver in the NFL. But I'm trying to move past that. Because it's just a UDFA guy who really gives a shit if he's going to be great or not. I'm trying to piss people off on that. Man Waring making the team. You think so, Jonathan? You think so? They gonna carry Brown, Akins, Brevin, Izzo, and Waring 5 tight ends? It's possible. It's possible. I mean, Ravens love their multiple tight end sets. Power run scheme, you need multiple tight end sets. But I don't think so. It would mean that they cut a lot of wide receivers. So I said Wallow versus the World. He got so many linebackers to compete with. And then Lopez is probably going to compete with Vincent Taylor for the, depth defensive tackle position. It'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting to see the training camp battles. I want to hear from y'all. Who do you think, what is the most exciting battle for you? Apart from the rookies, it could be one of the rookies. Maybe it's Finley versus Mills. Maybe it's Brevin versus Waring. But what is the most, the biggest training camp battle you're looking forward to? Is it the interior of the offensive line, Marcus Cannon versus Max Sharping versus Justin Britt versus Lane Taylor? Is that exciting to y'all? Is it the running back competition? Is it David Johnson versus Phillip Lindsay versus Mark Ingram? What's it going to be? Is it the edge competition? I think that's a fun one. Shaq Lawson, Whitney Merciless, MIA Merciless, Jonathan Grenard, Jordan Jenkins, Charles Omenihu potentially, Jacob the Go Martin. What competition are y'all looking forward to? Because that's what Nick loves, man. Competition. The DN group, Matthew V says. Yes, sir. Ramucha says the running backs. I hear you. Evil Soap says the D-line or the linebackers. Ooh, the linebacker one's interesting. I think it's pretty much set for the linebackers with Christian Kirksey and Zach Cunningham being the two main guys, and then we'll be a nickel most of the time. But I hear you. There's so many damn linebackers, man. So many damn linebackers. Can't keep them all. Make Max says, low-key, my favorite matchup is Jacob Martin versus Shaq Lawson. Can't lie. Y'all think MIA Merck is holding down one of those spots? I think his reputation and his contract will unfortunately give him one of those starting spots on defensive end. He isn't worth it, in my opinion. I'd rather start someone younger with more potential, but that's just me. Omenhu playing DT? Possibly. He tweeted something about playing inside and how he liked it. So, and apparently he's bulking up too. So I don't know, man. I think he could be. Edge, yeah. Running backs, okay. John says, I still think Casario's scenario involves some big free agent moves, and once the Deshaun Watson issue is resolved, turn the clusterfuck into players and picks. That's what we're going to talk about next, man. The Deshaun Watson trade. Scotty Phillips is still on the team. I'm just happy for that. He is? Okay, let's go, Scotty Phillips. I love Scotty Phillips at Ole Miss last year. I would love it, Wooden Stick. I would love it. Unoriginal says, Grenard going to be the greatest edge on the team this year. Going to be a guy going forward. I liked him out of Florida, man. I liked him. You can't go wrong with the running back competition, though. Yes, sir. It's tough, man. It's tough. Philip Lindsay should take that. But Mark Ingram and David Johnson, man. Look, they're not scrubs. Are they in their prime? No, but they're not scrubs either. Who crowned Pep Hamilton? I love Pep Hamilton, man. I love him. What he's able to do with Justin Herbert. What he's able to do with Andrew Luck. What he's able to do as the OC of the Colts. As the head coach of the DC Defenders. He's got a good resume, man. He's got a good resume. Alright, let's get to the next part of this stream and then we'll get out of here soon. I didn't realize it's already been an hour. But shout out to all y'all coming through. One thing I do got to do. Since we've looked at, the draft class, just doing a quick recap for anyone who's coming through a little late. It's okay. I forgive you. It's okay. I forgive you. But we recapped the AFC draft class. Gave grades for all that. So if that's interesting you, go back and check that out. Jordan. And give me a second to do this. I'm sure y'all know what's coming. I'm sure y'all know what's coming at this point. Alright. Y'all know what's coming? Let's take a look at our friends over here at Simbull, the best sports stock market trading website. Links in the description. Use Simbull.app/TexansThoughts for a free $10 deposit. You can invest in your favorite sports team. So let's look at where they got the Texans first of all. After the draft, it's been a little bit of a mess, up and down, but they're hovering around $21. So the Davis Mills pick, they're like, all right, it hasn't really changed our mind too much. They got up to a high at 23 before the draft, went down a little bit, but that's kind of where they've been at for a while here, around 21. So interesting, man. I think by the time the season starts, honestly, unless they make more additions, which is exactly what I'm about to talk about right now, if the Deshaun Watson trade happens, man, expect this to fall a little bit just because we're going to be bad this next season. But then that's when you want to buy. And then when we get those draft picks, man, then that it's going to be shooting up. So just be wary about the Texans stock. Let's look at the AFC South after the draft. The Titans has just been readily climbing. So they like their draft class. They believe in them. Where else are we looking for the Colts? There they are at 34. They've kind of went down a little bit. They were at 36. They're like, I'm not feeling your draft class too much. They're now down to 34. So that's interesting to look at. Fuck the Colts in the chat real quick. And the last one, who we got? The Jags. The Jags, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. It's been climbing. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit more confident in Trevor Lawrence leading their team. But But yeah, man, that's Simbull. You can invest in football, baseball, basketball, anything. I mean, it's a really good way to, use your sports knowledge and actually make some safer money off it. Safer than just betting on regular sports betting. This is more long term. And yeah, use my code. Links in the description. But that's that. I'm done. All right, I'm done. Y'all can come back now. John says, I was late, lol. Well, there you go. I got you. Who do you think is going to surprise you from the free agents and draft? From the free agents, I think Joe Thomas is my guy. Joe Thomas out of Dallas, the linebacker we got of him. I think he'd be, I think he's getting the least amount of hype, and I think he could be pretty solid. Okay, let's go into the next part. Let's talk about, the offseason. We're grinding to, the more quiet part of it. We're past the free agency, past the draft, but there are still potential, additions that could be made. And today they just had another linebacker. They visited with him, Neville Hewitt. He played for the Jets last year. And you look at the stats, 134 tackles, 4 PBUs. You think he's great. I did some reading from some Jets people, kind of what their thoughts are about him. And, with him going to free agency, do they want him back? Are they fine with letting him walk? They're fine with letting him walk. They say that, he's a strong run defender. He can clean up things for you. But coverage ain't it. So the way that they were kind of describing him reminds me a lot about Tyrell Adams. Solid run defender. Will rack up the tackles for you. 100 plus tackles if he's put in the right position, But coverage ain't it. And so we don't need no more of those non-coverage linebackers. We're good on those. So Neville Hewitt, would I hate us adding him, bringing him into training camp? No. More competition, whatever. But I'm not pounding the table for him. Really excited about him. Bobby McCain says, the people. Bobby McCain released from the Dolphins. I believe he's visiting the Washington football team. He was starting safety for them all of last year. One of the better secondaries in the league. So clearly he's pretty solid. I would love to bring him in. I think we could use some safety depth for sure. It's only really AJ Moore behind Lonnie Johnson and Justin Reed. But I think he'll probably want to go to a team with a little bit more playoff aspirations, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't, I would like the addition, but I wouldn't expect him to really come here. Let's look at some potential additions for the best free agents still available, y'all. Best free agents available. Teams still tend to like to add guys late in the season because the comp pick formula is thrown out the window. Whoever you sign now, it don't matter how good they are, it ain't gonna count to your comp pick formula. And Nick's all about that. So let's look who's still available. I mean, I would absolutely love Richard Sherman. I mean, he'd be a perfect fit in the Tampa 2. Great guy to teach the young cornerbacks, who I guess we only really have John Reed. But let's be honest, Sherman fucking hates the Texans. He ain't coming here. Tackles, we don't really need a tackle. I think this is a little old, but it was updated May 4th. So I don't know. Because some of these players, I believe Malik Hooker got signed somewhere. But who would I want from this list? Geno Atkins is definitely a name that flies off the board. It catches your attention really quickly. Is the dude in his prime anymore? No. But he'd still be probably the best defensive tackle on this team right away. So I would love him for sure. Bashaud Breeland is another option. Cornerback. I think cornerback 2 is a need for us right now. You got Roby on one side. You got King in the nickel. Terrence Mitchell. Not too hot on him. So would love to bring Bashaud Breeland in. He's played on a Super Bowl winning team for a Super Bowl winning defense. He can play match zone concepts pretty well for you. Not the biggest dude in the world, but he's sticky in coverage, man. If he stays healthy, he's nice. He's nice with it. Trey Boston. Didn't Trey Boston get signed somewhere? I know Jason McCourty got signed. The rest of these guys, I don't think they're going to take a chance on. Earl Thomas, it's interesting. Kenny Stills still ain't signed. But yeah, if there's any names that pop off this list for y'all, let me know. But those are kind of the two main guys for me. Washington football team has one hell of a defense. Yes, they do, man. Yes, they do. Tristan says our running back group is so stacked right now, I don't see David Johnson being cut. Then you have Lindsey and Ingram. It's a good running back group, man. It's a good running back group. 3 good guys there. 3 solid guys. If you limit David Johnson to just receiving stuff and you don't ask him to carry the rock 20 times a game, you don't ask him to play 98% of the snaps like we were doing last year, I think he can be better. We don't need a whole lot out of him. That's the thing. Heard Sherman's trying to go back to Seattle. I saw that. I saw he's trying to go back to the 49ers as well, so I don't know. What the hell, man? I don't know. Malik Hooker is still a free agent, just been visiting a couple of teams. Okay, interesting. He already played in this kind of cover 2 system with the Colts, and it didn't look too hot, and he didn't improve year by year, and he couldn't stay healthy year by year, so I'm not like pounding the table for him either. Not super excited, but I'll be down. Talk about the wide receivers. Which one about them, Ivory? Wide receiver gone on a roster or in terms of free agents? We want to talk about wide receiver like training camp battles, and then I think we're going to get out of here. Oh, the last thing I got to talk about is the Deshaun stuff. That's the last stuff I got to talk about. But I want to see what about the wide receivers you want to know, Ivory? What about it? Real question is, can we beat Jacksonville once to not be the first team to be 0-17? I think we definitely can. I think we can definitely beat Jacksonville. Come on, man. These are the Jags at the end of the day. The Jags are going to jag. Are you high on Steven Nelson? I like him. Cornerback from the Steelers. He got cut. He wanted to trade. They didn't end up trading. I believe he got cut. He does a lot of zone for them, so it'll be a good fit, I think. He can play outside. Draft. Talk about the wide receivers in the draft. I talked about the undrafted guys. I'm not the highest on Marlon Williams. I kind of like Hazleton. But I wouldn't expect them to, beat all the veterans that are already on the team. I mean, you've got... Okay, let's talk about who are the locks. Cooks is a lock. I think Cobb is a lock. If they were going to trade him, if they were able to get anything out of him, get off that contract, I think he would have been traded by now. So those 2 guys are a lock. Collins is a lock. Just drafted him, 3rd-round pick. Roberts is a lock. Star punt returner, kick returner. I forgot about him. He's going to be good for us. We finally got a good damn freaking kick returner. So that's great. So those are the 4 locks in my opinion. Typically wide receivers, you bring 6, 7 of them. So who are the next most likely guys? In my opinion, I think QT showed at the end of the season, he still is worthy of a shot. I think Chris Conley has probably the best resume out of the other guys. And then, Coulter, probably can't give up on him after just 1 year unless he completely shits the bed in training camp, which I don't think would really happen. So that's another 3 guys. That gets you at 7 already. Then you still got to talk about Dante Moncrief that they brought in. You got to talk about the guy from the Ravens, Chris Moore or David Moore. I forget. These special teammates, they brought him in. Alex Erickson from the Bengals. He's another special team guy. So out of those 3 guys, who's going to make it? I don't know. Then you got the 2 undrafted guys. So it's just a lot of wide receivers. A lot of wide receivers to beat, man, for an undrafted guy to make it. They got to beat at least like 5 guys, which is crazy. So I'm not so sure. Not so sure. All right, let's talk about the last thing on the menu for today, and that is the Deshaun Watson trade. If you were on the stream for the draft-a-thon, you heard Pat talk about a potential Deshaun trade. You heard him talk about the timing. Patrick Storm, this being the man, the myth, the legend himself. And he mentioned that June 1st is the next date to look out for. All right, things have gone quiet with either sides, representatives, lawyers, whatnot. We haven't heard anything in like weeks. But June 1st would be the date to look for if a team is willing to trade for him. Now, what's interesting is that there's some more teams who, have the ammunition to go get us a better deal. The compensation we've been thinking about for Deshaun Watson's been a little bit of a roller coaster. Started off real high. I want all of your first round picks for the next 3 years, next 4 years. I want 4 second rounders, 3 third rounders. I want 2 starters. One of them better be a Pro Bowler, right? That's how it started off. I want everything if you're going to go take my MVP quarterback. Then it kind of went down. You know, he had some really, really shitty things, if they're true, that he's done. And it looked like the Niners moved on, the Panthers moved on, and it was just the Dolphins. And so we kind of hit a low. We're like, okay, if it's only this one team we're negotiating with, how much of a great deal can we really get, right? But now we're back at the situation where, all right, the Eagles, they reloaded. They got an extra first-round pick next year by trading back. And the Giants, they got an extra first-round pick by trading back as well. So I think those two teams have kind of re-entered into the conversation to potentially put together a deal for Deshaun Watson. And what can be done is trading these first-round picks that these teams have taken in this current draft. So the Dolphins, they took Jalen Waddle. They took Jalen Phillips. If they don't sign them to their rookie contracts before June 1st, they can be traded in this package. Same thing with the Giants. They took Kadarius Toney. Same thing with the Eagles. Devontae Smith, man. If Devontae Smith ends up in a motherfucking Texans jersey, y'all. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Ivory says, please don't trade him on my birthday. Trade him on June 3rd. God damn, that would suck, Ivory. That would suck. Broncos want a quarterback, though, too, and the Raiders. The Broncos, he don't want to go to the Broncos. That's the thing. It's always been kind of Miami or San Fran for Watson. I don't know how willing. I don't know about Philly and New York, if he'd be more willing or less willing to go there. But at least there's some more teams now who are going to be calling and have the ammunition that we can negotiate with Miami and get the most out of them. Get Jalen Waddle out of them. Get Jalen Phillips out of them. Get 2 more first-round picks out of them. All right? That's the hope, man. That's the hope. Maybe you can go get... Who do they got on defense? Maybe you can go get Jerome Baker, coverage linebacker. Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle. That's the hope, man. That's the hope. So look out, June 1. We got some weeks to go. But that would be the next kind of, major update, I think, of when it could potentially happen. Alrighty, y'all. The screen is up on now. The stream is ending. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for coming through. So no chance on Watson changing his mind, law? I don't think so at this point, man. I don't think so. Y'all want Jalen Hurts in the Eagles trade package? They could give us Hurts. First rounder or 2, Devontae Smith. Maybe a defender as well. Maybe they get you... God, I can't even think of anyone in that Philly defense that's like young. Or it's the Giants giving you, Daniel Jones, Kadarius Toney, a couple first-round picks. Noah Igbenogany, that would be a good one out of the Dolphins. Good cornerback, good look there. But yeah, man, just keep those names in mind. Don't gotta go crazy on potential trade packages just yet. But yeah, man. Hope you all have a good rest of the week. Hope you enjoy the weekend. Congrats to everyone who's done finals. Congrats to everyone who's about to graduate or who has graduated. That's an amazing accomplishment. Go kill it in the workforce or whatever you want to do with your life. Have fun with it. Follow your boy on Twitter, Instagram. Check out Texans Unfiltered podcast, website, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Follow the boys, James, John, Pat, Jair. Putting out some good stuff for y'all. What else do I gotta talk about? That's it. Check out Simbull. Take care, man. We'll see you next week. I'll have another Davis Mills video out for y'all on Tuesday. The UCLA game. The UCLA game was good. Better than Colorado game. Definitely. Made some good moments. Came back in the fourth quarter after throwing 3 picks. Got them to overtime. Won them overtime. Some good moments in there, man. Some good moments for sure. So, if you want to see that, be on the lookout next week. But that's going to do it, y'all. The stream is ending. So take care. Come back for more.